truth.
That's me. Hello. I'm Jim Price. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Well, let's, the government already told me what day it was, so I don't have to guess. We're going to call it March 19th. It's a Thursday, trash day here at the Price House, 2026. Now, they did move the trash time up on me here. We were getting it somewhere around between 3 and 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and now it is right about 10 a.m. Without notice, they just decided that they're going to change trash can pickup dates, and I don't know why that bothers me. I'm just getting old, I guess. That's a thing you say when you, well, I don't like the way they went and made my trash time different. It just throws my whole coffee routine off, or whatever the heck, yeah. Anyway, good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I appreciate you. By the way, yes, we did start a little late today because I was writing a response to something, and I did not realize I had ran out of time. So, guys, thank you so much for being here and being faithful. Faithful Jim Price Show followers, appreciate that. All right, so anyway, there's a lot of weird stuff happening. Now, there is a lot of things not happening, but there are a lot of things that I would say that I would. I'm starting to do some of this questioning thing with Trump, and not with Trump, but I always do. When Trump goes out and does something, I really do appreciate how he is able to get things to happen, and then he goes, what? Israel's bad? You want the Epstein files? I thought that was over. I thought you guys were done. I didn't think it was a big deal. You see where that goes? See how that all... And I do believe that it's actually a part of us that really we enjoy that aha moment because we feel like we almost got him, but then he got them, but then we got, it's like a gotcha thing. And I don't know if it's the human experience that expects this over and over again, but I do see this happening as kind of what do we do? This is how we always do it. What do? We do it like this. Why? Because that's how we hold. Don't ask why. Whoa. But anyway, let me finish this statement up really real quick here. The seating is. Oh, by the way, this is about cloud seeding, and the question was, the article is about cloud seeding. What are you talking about? Enlighten me. Try really hard. I said the seeding is the very last step in priming the upper atmosphere. That is where the jet fuel comes into play. 100,000 flights globally, which puts the chemical charge that the silver iodide needs to create the large. By the way, by the way, you guys want to understand it's cloud seeding. I guess I have really never done a cloud seeding episode where I've really gone out on my on the limb and really pointed out to you and showed you all the stuff. So anyway, what happens is that as the commercial flights are going overhead, 100,000 to 110,000 flights every day globally. So that's what I'm putting in. The seeding is the very last step of priming the upper atmosphere. That is where the jet fuel comes into play. 100,000 flights globally, daily flights, right? Daily flights globally, which puts the chemical charge that the silver iodide needs to create larger ice crystals to so what happens is as the silver iodide is sprayed in there, it causes the water crystals to come together and create larger ice crystals, which then create snow, rain, precipitation. So it goes iodide that needs to create the larger ice crystals to then bring the water or Okay, so I just did this. I'm going to do this real quick. What is it? Come on, don't do that. Why does this always act like participation? Oh, I hate I hate that I cannot get that. Well, I hate when I miss a word, and then it goes and it just completely just makes up a whole nother word. Anyway, I'll finish that after a bit here. But going back to this, the idea that what we have when we're saying that we have cloud seeding, the cloud seeding is the original article is about cloud seeding. Hey, I'm Courtney Allen. Good to see you. Original article is about cloud seeding. So the problem is that cloud seeding is that's like saying, oh, gasoline, I go to my corner store and gasoline that's where they refine it. That's where they make gasoline. That's where all gasoline's made. It's like saying that's how gasoline gets to you. It's like, oh, it's at the gas station. They just make it there. Well, that's not true. We all understand there's these big refineries way far away. But the problem is that when the cloud seeding is actually, or when the atmosphere is being primed with the jet fuel, the cloud seeding comes in very easily. All right. So I'm just going to go with that. The seeding is the very, let's do this. Seeding is the very last step in priming the upper atmosphere. That is where the jet fuel comes into play, 100,000 daily flights globally, which brings the chemical charge that the silver iodide needs to create the larger ice crystals that then brings the water out of the sky. So I'm going to go with that, and we'll see what kind of argument that gets me. So that's, again, where we continue to go around and around and around about this. I just don't understand why that people – it's like when you say something, people just want to go, I need you to think for me. I don't understand you. You don't know My problem is, guys, is that I spend, I don't know, most of my time when I'm talking about different things, catching people up on what is really going on here. On what is life, what goes on in life for real, how things actually work, how many natural gas, pressurized oil, and pressurized fuel lines there are underneath their feet. People drive around all the time, crossing over, passing along gas lines over and over again. But remember the whole, that whole sand, the oil sands thing in Canada? Yeah, they were doing that whole. Remember the XL pipeline? Remember they were shutting that down even though there was 26 other pipelines in the exact same location that they were going to put this larger pipeline in so they could bring in a greater flow of oil into America and actually make Canada rich? What do I know? Stupid guy. But this is it, right? This is what we're talking about. Again, this is where over and over again I have to go back out and go, okay, here's what's happening, guys. And that's what that email or that response to that was, is that I responded to something about cloud seeding and the idea that the jet fuel is actually what creates the primer for it. And then the cloud seeding is the actual last part where they do the silver iodide in the clouds. And that's what they're spraying. When they show all these nozzle sprays going off the planes, that's silver iodide. What I'm talking about is the fuel when it turns into fumes after it burns, after that chemical discharge out of the end. That is what's setting up the upper atmosphere. And I'm telling you right now, guys, it's coming. The conspiracy on this one's going to come out, and it's going to be really big and scary. I'm just saying. I know. It's out there. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So today, I was writing today's episode. I called it Rogue only because I do see that there are things that are happening not only with the Kent interview with Trump yesterday. That's not even really. That's just kind of that's just like a little bump on that. What I'm thinking about is that Trump made there's some stuff I want to report about here in a minute, but let's go over here. There are some things that are happening that are outside of what Trump thinks should be happening. Trump sees that, yes, there should be very specific targets, very surgical, all right, but there's some things coming down the pike here that aren't looking that way. They're not the same, and I do believe that this is where Trump is going to find that he's not going to be playing ball with these guys anymore. And this is why I said rogue. Now, let's go over here to, Joe Kent. We're going to talk about him here in a minute. Let's go over here to, oh my gosh, where did it go? I apologize for that. Hey, Brenda Snowden, good to see you. Thank you so much for, by the way, guys, thank you for checking in on that. And here, guys, if you want to break the algorithm, just watch, make sure just watch it and keep going on it, because that's how we break the algorithm on this shadow banning that I am dealing with right now. It is, obviously, they don't want me around. Guys, listen, if I was saying bullshit, if I was talking about, Pokemon, if I had Pokemon, if this was a whole stack of Pokemon cards and I was showing you Pokemon and I was doing all this stuff, I could have 10 million viewers an episode and nobody's going to say anything to me at all. They're going to be la, 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 la. But why is it that when I talk about the things I talk about, why is it that those things are always, why am I so shadow banned? I mean, really? Why am I so heavily shadow banned that I need to have you guys out there breaking the shadow ban? What am I saying that's so bad, right? What am I saying? But see, that's just the point. Nobody really has that answer, but we know that we're pissing somebody off. There are key words, key phrases, sentences, intentions that they somehow have interpreted that I am going to, I don't know, screw something up with you guys. I don't know how you do that. Change your guys' mind, maybe. I think we might be able to do it. Please, where is that? I can't find this article all of a sudden. So let me take my time here for just a second. Let me go back down through this. Oh, what is this? And this is existential for us. Zelensky over his blocking the pipeline. Oh, Turkey's all mad. Ooh. Turkey's getting mad at Ukraine there. Uh-oh, Chuck Norris is in the hospital because he's going to, I don't know, because he's going to go beat the flu, I guess. I don't know how that works, but we'll see how that goes. Why can't I find this one single article that, I don't know why I can't find it all of a sudden. I hate when I do this. I should have marked it, and I didn't. Where did that go? Well, anyway, let's just do this. We'll go with this. Now, I will do this. That basically what happened was that Israel went out and they bombed a bunch of the pipelines and oil fields in Iran. And they did this. Now, see, here's what I think. I think Trump is this way. He's like, guys, if it has camouflage, if it's a certain green or sandy tan color, if it has a gun on top of it, if it looks like it's a military asset, if it looks like it's a thing, then let's bomb the shit out of it. Let's make sure that we send a bomb bigger than whatever it is and make sure there's no parts or pieces defined. That's what Trump's okay with. But what I will tell you Trump's not okay with is exactly what I was going to read in this article, that I guess now Israel is going out of their way. Israel's going out of their way to actually bomb what they consider to be infrastructure sites. Now, Trump said we've knocked out their military communication. We've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force. We've knocked out most of all their drone capability. So see what he's doing? He's using the military contacts, right? He's doing contact with military. This is an opposing force. I am going after the opposer, not the people. Now, there is language coming out that maybe that bomb that we sent did hit a school full of children. But that intelligence now is being told that it came from the blue and white country. So Israel is the problem there, where they gave us bad coordinates, but they're saying, "Oh, what? We were just going off the intelligence that we had." What? So again, this is where I think Trump is starting. I think Trump is the absolute best as a leader, that he lets people go out and he'll say, "Oh, you want to take that on? You think you got the ability? Then go show me. Show me." And they get all about 80%, 90% right, and there's got this little and he's like, "Hey, listen, I need you out of here. I got to go fix this part over here. You screwed up." But what it did was it showed the weakness of the project. It showed the weakness of that individual. It showed the weakness of the ideology behind it. And I think what we're seeing with Trump is that he is actually going in and he's going to say, listen, guys, Israel, you know, I did the whole Roman fortress wall where I put my hand on there and I prayed with a little doily hat on and I put a little piece of paper in the hole so I could have a little prayer and the prayer of the wailing wall of the Roman fortress. And I did the little tour and I shook the hand and I've seen BB and I've done all the things and old Benji and me, we're the greatest allies on earth. Bullshit. And I think I really just like the whole idea of letting Biden run out there and letting Kamala run out there and letting Zelensky run out there and letting China run out there, letting the EU run out there. I think he kind of is the best about making a decision and then watching others react. And then he gets to say, nope, yeah, nope, maybe, nope, yeah. Do you see where that's at? That this is a leadership type, this is style. And it's very fatherly in the way that's like, okay, well, you want to use that ramp? Okay, go ahead. I'll let you that you can use the plywood and the cinder blocks and you're going to use your bicycle and you're going to put it, okay, all right, go for it, man. Go. You jump the shit out of that play up. Yeah, go for it. Okay, well, you fell. So how do we fix that? How do we keep you from falling? How do we get you to land? How do you get to stick the landing? And see, a lot of times he likes seeing people fail because he knows that they're learning, but he wants to support them in a way that they learn, and he likes to see people learning. He likes to see people developing. And that is a leadership quality that leaders have. Leaders bring the best of their people out, even though as they fail, there are successes, and so you coach them in the successes, and you coach them in the failures, so they quit repeating the failures. And they find the positives in that project or whatever it was. But I think we're exposing Israel. And guys, there's a lot of information I have at this point about Israel that is really gotten worse. I mean, I thought I had some shit, but now it's gotten worse with Israel. There's some information coming out about lineages and what really got settled into Palestine. And whether they're actually Jews or not, that's a whole nother thing. This is, it's getting a little bit kind of, yeah, they've got some explaining to do. The sad part of it is, why do I have to find out the truth about them and then go ask them to tell the truth? Why can't we just have that up front? I don't know. So there were people arrested. Guys, listen, you guys want to talk about different types of places on this earth, but we all live on the same globe. But there are people in not in Saudi Arabia, but listen to this, a 60-year-old British tourist, along with 20 others in Dubai, are charged for filming the Iranian missiles despite deleting the videos immediately. A 60-year-old British tourist from London was detained and formally charged in Dubai under the United Emirates' strict cybercrime laws after allegedly recording Iranian missiles flying over the city. Does anybody, you guys want to talk about that? There's a strict cybercrime law. Okay, the man whose identity has not been revealed is a part of a group of 21 people of various nationalities being pursued for the same reason, recording and sharing material related to the recent Iranian missile and drone attacks that have struck Emirate territories. So you filmed something in the sky, and then that's against the law, and then you're going to go to jail. Okay. According to the report confirmed by British authorities and the organization detained in Dubai, the tourists were arrested on Monday, March 9th. So that was about 10 days ago in the Dubai area. Police found a video on his phone showing an Iranian missile impact in Dubai. Although the man claims he deleted it immediately when confronted by the authorities and denies any intention of publishing it or distributing it. However, he was charged with using an information network or technological tool to disseminate, publish, republish, or circulate false news, rumors, or proactive propaganda that may incite public opinion or disturb public security. Oh, public security? Filming rockets flying over a city is now public security problem? What? The invoked emirate law expressly prohibits publishing or sharing any material that may disrupt public security. Again, the missiles are already over their head. How is this interrupting security? All right. I'm just asking questions as the article goes along. We're all discovering this new thing all at the same time. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Hope you're feeling well. Thank you so much for that. Sarah Schwartz is here. The UAE Attorney General's office had previously issued warnings for photographing or sharing attack sites, unreliable information. This is so unreliable. Oh, yeah, I just don't even know what I'm seeing. It's so unreliable. Let's see. Unreliable information or images of projectile damage may lead to legal action and compromise national security. So images of projectile damage may lead to legal action? How is that even a thing? Since the start of the conflict, the United States and Israel, the Emirates have reported more than 1,800 drone and missile launch attacks against their territory, resulting in 6 deaths and 141 injuries. The Emirates Ministry of Defense and senior officials, including the ambassador of the United Kingdom, justified the measure as citizens' protection. Measures as citizens' protection. So filming rockets that are overhead, that are over your head live, that is so this is for the protection measure as preventing missile fragments from falling on those filming and avoiding panic or the disclosure of defense position. Oh, so you're going to say because these rockets are going at overhead, that they should have not filmed the rockets going overhead, that they should have ran to shelter because they're going from here to here, not from here to here. So if the rocket's coming at, you're seeing the flame on the other side, and then there's a pointy thing coming at you, I would say you need to move. But if it's going in the sky up here and it's going psh, 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 so you arrested this guy for his safety. The British I don't understand this. The British embassy in Abu Dhabi immediately published an official alert. UAE authorities warn against photography, posting, or sharing images of incident sites or projectile damage, as well as government buildings and diplomatic missions. British nationals are subject to UAE laws. Violation may lead to fine, imprisonment, or deportation. Get deported for... I got foreigners in my country killing Americans, and they don't get deported or arrested. They're fine. They're released on no bail for killing people in America. But here, if you video rockets in the sky, they're going to come get your ass. The British Foreign Office confirmed that he remains in contact with local authorities and is supporting the detained families. The minimum penalty is 2 years in prison plus a $200,000 dirhams. They pay $54,000. Wow. What is this? Maya O'Brien, a 23-year-old British student sentenced to life in prison in Abu Dhabi for 50 grams of cocaine that were found in her apartment she was visiting. She was visiting an apartment, and there were 50 grams, and she got life in prison? Wow. I didn't realize that this is the kind of stupid shit they do. I mean, I'm not impressed. You can have all the money in the world, but if you treat people like this, then that's not cool. I'm not saying let her out like in a minute, but also at the same time, you got to have possession of and this and that. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. They didn't care about whether I had possession of anything. They just they just charged me with whatever they wanted to, right? Yay. This is really kind of disturbing that how crazy these people are with this. You go to life in prison for something like that, or you get 2 years minimum for filming something that's flying overhead. Oh my God, what is that? Is that oh, those are rockets. Oh, I thought that, oh, wow, oh shit, I thought I was catching a meteor shower. It is crazy. It is crazy. So it is not a McCann. Sorry, guys, I gotta answer this. See, this is the kind of stuff I get. Like, I knew I shouldn't have answered. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. This is why I hate even responding to things online that are just like, this is a simple conversation. This goes back to the cloud seeding thing. But can you imagine, though, going over to the EU, and you're over there, and there's these rockets flying overhead, and you can't film them? I don't understand that about. And by the way, how did they know he was filming them? That's the part of the article that really never kind of came out on that whole thing. But let me give you a little bit of why it is that you want to see some of these things change in the world around you. And I am not justifying what we're doing in Iran at all. I have told you guys that. I know that we went in there to kick over a religious leader. But here's an article that will make you understand what it is that when people get into religion, you can be religious. You can say Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha, every other word. Oh, thank Buddha. Oh, Buddha's my God. Oh, thank you. But that Buddha blesses me. Buddha blesses you. Whatever you want to say. Okay, that's cool. You want to build a church with a big old pointy thing on the top and put crosses and, Catholic this and German that and African this. Whatever you want to do. Those are all your things. But here's the problem when this has gone too far. Iranian regime carried out public hangings on Thursday, executing 3 young men, including a promising 19-year-old wrestling champion, over their alleged involvement in anti-government protest early this year. Now, listen, right now, Pretty Good, all these other people that have been hurt by ICE or whatever, and all these other people talking about we don't need to deport and we need to leave everybody here and all this other stupid shit. Okay, this is where you guys got it all wrong, where you think that Trump is a dictator. This article is about a dictator. This is about ultimate regime. This is actually someone who is a fascist. The sad part of it is that people don't understand that this is actually what this is. What they are doing here, where they get to bitch about Trump all the time, saying he's a fascist, absolutely disproves them anything that they're doing is accurate. By protesting someone's a fascist means that they're not a fascist because you get to protest, you jackass. Think about it. But right here, Iranian regime carried out public hangings on Thursday, executing 3 young men, including a 19-year-old wrestling champion, over their alleged involvement in anti-government protest early this year. The execution is the kind of medieval barbarism that the mullahs in Tehran continue to inflict on their own people. Well, we want Hillary Clinton to hang, right? So why is it okay? We're mad about the hanging? No, we're mad about the fact that he couldn't talk or say that he wanted things to change in his government and he could not be represented by his government. That's what I have a problem with. I don't care about the style of execution. That's not the point. We have still states laws that say it's a firing squad, electric chair, the needle. Well, I guess a lot of people took that already, right? COVID. You guys already gave them the injections. To anyone still defending the regime that chanted death to America and bankrolls terror groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. By the way, guys, we have been financing the Iranian regime for the last 50 years. Iran-Contra affair, just kind of line them all up real quick there. Come on. You can do it. We have been dealing and paying Iran for decades. Don't lie to yourself. The Made in America movie with Tom Cruise, the Made in America movie, Iran-Contra affair, Iranians. Anybody? I'm waiting. How about the Iranians that were kept? Oh, remember the whole hostage thing with the Iranians that Jimmy Carter blew up and got wrong? Remember that? See, this is the problem, isn't it? Hey, Ken, good to see you. It says, I love what Trump said to the Japanese representative at the White House. Yeah, the prime minister was in the White House today and said, well, Japanese, they like doing surprises too, right? Talking about Pearl Harbor. Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't understand why this person went a little far on the article, but this is where we're going, guys. This is what we're in there for. This is what we're talking about. This is the stupid shit that goes on in the world around us. Iran also executed Swedish-Iranian man identified as Koshar Karvani on Wednesday after convicting him of espionage for Israel. It can be recalled that the Iranian women's soccer team protested the Islamic regime by refusing to sing the national anthem. These things are out there. These are going out. Stuff is happening. Following their act of defiance, Iranian state media branded them wartime traitors. We're not in a war, according to Trump or Congress. In the midst of an ongoing conflict with Iran, President Trump announced that the Australian government was providing asylum to some members of the team. He wrote on Truth Social, I just spoke to Prime Minister Anthony of Australia, blah, blah, blah. So, guys, this is where again, we went in there to overthrow a religious leader that was leading a country. And this is where we don't realize that there really is no due process. There's no checks and balances. There is no stop. Like, hey, can we take a minute to calm down here? This guy didn't like what the government was doing, but we're going to execute him for this. And this is how you guys think that we got people so tamped down here in America. All they got to do is say, booga, booga, booga. And that's it. You guys get shadow banned on Facebook. You guys quit going to Facebook. You guys get cut off on Twitter. You quit going. You guys quit. We're just going to stop. We're going to quit. We're going to quit everything. And then that's the problem is they get you to comply in the same way they get people over there to comply, but they cut the heads off of people. We don't. We just shoot them with suicides, right? Oh, suicide. Yeah, Jim Price cannot win. Take him out. 3 days later, no knock warrant on my house. Boys and girls, it happens every day of our life. It just happens at different degrees. And we don't do it as brash and outlandish as some other countries do. We try to do it secretly. We try to do that secret thing, man. We want to be secret about it, right? Because we don't want to be honest about what we actually do globally because we may not be on the right side of history sometimes. Oh, yeah. Now, Benji got up, and I don't know. There's been some questions about Benji's aliveness or whether he's alive or dead and what he's going through. And he got out and said that on his statement today that, who could tell Trump what to do? I have no influence over Trump. He only does what Trump wants to do. Well, let's listen to this is what he said. This is what Prime Minister Netanyahu said about Netanyahu, the BBGG. What he said about Trump and Trump being dragged into the war.
These opening remarks with one other fake news, and that is that Israel somehow dragged the U.S. into a conflict with Iran. Does anyone really think that someone can tell President Trump what to do?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
President Trump always makes his decisions on what he thinks is good for America, and may I add, I think what is also good for future generations. These opening remarks.
So my thing is with this whole deal, with what that statement says, is that I think Trump allowed him to seem like that so that he could, Bibi gets out there and runs his mouth and does his thing, and I'm sure that we're all spying on each other, right? But I do believe that Trump said, oh, yeah, we're here for you, man. You just get out there and bowl up some shit, and we'll follow you in there, and we'll be great. But we've been doing 99% of all the heavy lifting. And then with the information or the things that we let Israel do, they go in there blowing up people, having us blowing up a school. So we look bad. So we get hurt. But by the way, Iran knows exactly what bombs are being sent from who. And they do know that. They're not stupid. Is that AI or is that an old video? I think Bibi's dead. Well, they're saying that this is supposedly the new one. So, hey, Stephanie Morrow, good to see you. Got Stephanie here. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And so let's continue on. Chuck Norris is in the hospital. I already said that one. I told you guys that already. Now, Jerome Powell yesterday did not raise or lower interest rates. He left them the same. And according to their voting, it was like 7-1. I guess there's 8 people on the board or something like that. 8 people to control the entire global financial system. Please, people, please understand when you walk away from these things, when you walk away from this system of things, and you start building your own economy of things, this guy saying whether the interest rates are going up or down will not mean shit to you. But I do believe, listen to me. Old pal, Jerome, he could not lower them because it would show to the establishment that he gave in, and then it would create that black eye effect for the Federal Reserve being an independent body. And he didn't raise them because then he knew that he would just look like a piece of shit that he really is. So the only move Jerome had, the only one he had was to leave it the same. I'm just telling you guys, that is literally what we're up against here, is that a lot of these people are doing it just because they don't want to look stupid. They're like, oh, hey, this is... So Jerome yesterday didn't raise or lower anything, so Trump got out, and he didn't he's like, yeah, he's a jackass. But we are coming up very closely. Now, I don't know who the Fed Reserve is going to be, the new Fed Reserve, but I really want Bassett, or however you say his name is. He's actually, he's really cool. The Treasury Secretary, neat guy. Really do like him. Okay, by the way, the House of Lords, the Lords, that's the representatives of, right? They said this is a cool little thing they did here for everybody. This is good for you right here. This will help your soul. This will help you sleep at night. After a late night debate in the House of Lords, a dark decision has been reached that will affect generations to come and deliver the United Kingdom into the arms of the culture of death. The barbaric practice that will now become lawful in yet another sign of dissent of the British and Western world in general. You now can get an abortion up to the day of birth. And when they're saying up to birth, meaning that if you were to have your water break or you're going into labor, that you can then just have the baby killed. Last June, MPs had voted to support decriminalizing the practice that came as part of an amendment to the Crime and Policy Bill. The amendment included a clause to change the law to decriminalize abortion for any reason, including if women did not want to have a child of a certain sex, and at any point up to and during birth. Polling shows that 89% of the general population, 91% of women agree that gender-selective abortion should be explicitly banned by law. Only 1% of women support introducing abortion up to birth. Another poll shows that more than half of the general public agrees that it should remain the case that a woman is breaking the law that if she is having an abortion of a healthy baby after 22 weeks. And guys, this is we've lost the narrative, the story here, haven't we? It's like a really weird deal. So let's see. The abortion up to birth clause is one of the most extreme pieces of legislation ever to pass the House of Commons and the House of Lords. It is a travesty that such an enormous and terrible legislative change that which directly endangers the lives of unborn babies will be well beyond the point at which they would be able to survive outside the womb. In other words, yes, we're past 26 weeks. They've shown that 26 weeks, it's easy for a baby to live outside the womb. This is okay. That's where we're at. This is what we're doing now. Hey, Joe McCoy, why do you keep liking your own posts? Sort of dumb if you ask me. Joe McCoy? Which ones? I always like my own posts because nobody likes them for me. What are you talking about? Hey, Joe, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you chiming in there. So, anyway, all right. So then we go on down to, this has been a crazy, like all the stuff that's out there today is just a little bit on the edge of like, what are we doing today? So remember Trump when Letitia James went after the 32 or 28 felony charges, that whole thing, because Trump misevaluated or misled bankers or no, that was Letitia James. That was the banking thing. Yeah, that was that. So that was, why was the banking thing 32 count? Oh, wait, no, that was for the hush money, right? So that was what the 32 counts or 42.99 million counts was for. But now we had the Letitia James thing with the fake numbers, right? And that was wasn't that part of that? How is this whole thing, like, it really is weird how all these cases are almost the exact same case, but they're not. It really gets a little bit sorted in there, right? Let's see. During the New York State Attorney General's Letitia James's 2023 civil fraud political persecution of Trump, one of her most ridiculous assertions of that was the president was overvaluing his Mar-a-Lago property. Well, wasn't that in there? Was that part of that? Now, am I getting those confused, or I don't know. According to Tish and affirmed by crackpot Manhattan Judge Arthur, the massive oceanfront estate was only worth $18 million. President Trump said during the trial, but this is the Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, and she shouldn't be allowed to be the Attorney General. She's defrauded the public with this trial. She said that Mar-a-Lago, the convicted judge, she convinced the judge that Mar-a-Lago was worth. So hold on, let's see down this. So here we go. A recent Forbes article of billionaire vindicates President Trump again, valuing the property of more than $500 million. So in Forbes 2026 billionaires list coverage, the outlet updated the valuation of Mar-a-Lago to $560 million, up from $370 million from the previous year, and a far cry from the political motivated assessment by Letitia James. So again, this is where this gets real. This is where it all gets convoluted. Nobody wants to follow it. I'm trying to do my best to read the article, but explain at the same time. The estate covers 20 acres of manicured lawn, vibrant gardens, and sweeping sea to lake vistas. I've been there a couple times. It's a pretty neat little property that I don't know why they I don't know why there's like, to me, there's some things I would have done different. I don't know. It's not my property. I don't care. Whatever. And the complex includes 126 rooms, totaling including 58 bedrooms. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. It's pretty. I didn't realize it had another 58. So basically, just under 200 places for people to sleep. Anyway, so that's kind of the shit part of it, is that Forbes comes in and vindicates Trump at literally, oh my gosh, how much is that? Like, they were only giving him like 5% of his value, something like that. Like, that's crazy. Kevin Spacey, remember Kevin Spacey, Mr. American Pie himself? Well, once upon a time, Academy Award-winning actor Kevin Spacey was on top of the game, starring in critically acclaimed series House of Cards, where he portrayed a U.S. president who is a murderer and corrupt to the core. But anyway, since then, his life has become a permanent defense of his professed integrity. So what happened? Well, yeah, they got him. He has to pay. Kevin Spacey settles with 3 UK men suing him in London's High Court for sexual assault. So Kevin Spacey has been kind of untouchable in a lot of things, and then he's showing where he can't he just can't help himself, right? That's how it goes. And by the way, Joe McCoy, real quick, I haven't liked any of my posts today. Or are you talking about like from my Twitter? Because I get no likes on Twitter at all. Like, my Twitter account is just almost nothing. Like, oh, by the way, I like this one where I like Trump's, like some of the before January 6th. If you go back and look on Trump's account for January 6th and you go to like it, and then you like repost it, and you go to your profile and look at it, and the like won't be there. It won't hold the like. It won't keep the like in there. And you tell me that Twitter is not shadow banned or has any type of propaganda still inside of it. You're saying that old Elon got it right? I don't think he did. I think he's full of shit. So anyway, but that's my case. But there's a lot more to these. By the way, guys, the algorithms are not that hard to modify, but yet they act like it's like, oh, we'd have to yeah, there's some things, yeah, you'd have to be a little creative on a couple things. You may have to, but getting that right where you don't affect people who are not doing something wrong, getting that right is not hard. It really isn't. So, and then I do appreciate the fact that there's people out there that are like, you just do your, here, if you go to this thing where it shows whether you are, are you shadow banned or not, you can just go right here. It doesn't work. Guys, I know what my shadow ban counts look like. I know what it's like on my side. I know what I see and don't see. And they can say, oh, or you're not shadow banned at all. It's all like bullshit, guys. Absolute bullshit. Condemns Trump. Oh my gosh. UN reporter condemns Trump, saying Somalia leads in human rights. Ben Saul, a UN special reporter on human rights and counterterrorism, told the UN Human Rights Council that the United States was raining death while describing Somalia as he was saying that the United States is raining death while describing that Somalia is a model responsible state committed to strengthening human rights. Have you guys actually heard of any of the shit that comes out of Somalia? And by the way, that elongated face with the teeth and all that, that's not like a cartoonish, inbreeding thing. That's exactly what happens when you eat inbred too much. That's what Somalians look like. There's a lot of that going around, and that's what people were talking about in America, that the Somalians that have come here, they just keep having sex with each other like they're brothers and sisters because they don't want to water down the bloodline or whatever. And so now they're finding themselves in a real problem of this is going to come back to bite these people of all this inbreeding. It's not going to be good for them. I'm not making that part up. So, At the same time, he said that the same states facing serious terrorist threats continue to prioritize human rights. So he keeps saying that people who are trying to be terrorists keep saying that they're the ones that are prioritizing human rights, but while killing people to get the government's attention. On January 1st, 2025, Somalia joined the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member. In January 26th, Somalia assumed the rotating one-month presidency of the Security Council. Wow, what are we doing here, people? U.S. Ambassador to the UN Mike Waltz publicly criticized the UN for assigning senior international positions to unstable countries like Somalia. Despite Saul's claim, hey, Tony Culver, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Despite Saul's claims that Somalia was improving, Human Rights Watch reported that the country's human rights situation deteriorated further in 2025. Again, this is where guys. So it doesn't matter if you're wrong, as long as you're in charge. Is that what we're saying to people like in humanity in general? That it doesn't matter if you're wrong. It doesn't matter if you're misreporting. It doesn't matter that you're saying Somalia is the leading country on human rights. Like, holy shit, guys! Like it's not even possible. That is so far from possible. That hurts my brain. But yeah, I guess it's because he's a UN reporter. He gets this clout button. He gets the little extra check mark. He gets the little tick there. He gets that little. Is that what we're saying? Because if it just is about you're in charge or you have a title or you have a this or you have a that, I do wonder, guys, if that's all it takes to be right is power or authority that others give into you for you to have. See, the only way someone has authority is if you give them power. You give the power to your local government by you giving into them. You give them your taxes, you give them your time, you pull over for their flashy lights, you do all that. That's the authority you give into. But this is where we're at, right? This is what we're doing. Brandon Autry, hey, man, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Susan Bly is here as well, down from Oklahoma. Appreciate you being a part of the show. But this is, again, where this is why who writes history really matters. This is why who is the publishers of a country, who are the people who curate, hold information. They become really the gatekeepers of what the future will know about us. And that people out there, right, guys, I think you guys miss something that happens very, very regularly in the House of Representatives and the Senate of your Congress. That these people will go up there, and if you get on C-SPAN at night, there's just people talking, and there's nobody in the room. But you know what they're doing? They're putting all their bullshit on record while you're not. Oh, they're getting up there reading the Bible, the King James Version. That way the King James Version has actually been written and read into the record of the Americas. Do you realize that that's what that's about? That these people get up there and they start reading things into the annals of history, the annuals, where they're going in and reading things into there. So when someone goes back in the future and they're like looking and they're like, oh, was there a time when President Trump was doing bad things to little girls? And they will get all these speeches from our congressmen and women. President Trump has been a pedophile. President Trump. And they're going to be, oh my God, it's true. It's right here. A congressman said it on the floor of the House and of the Senate. Oh, in the impeachment hearings. See, the problem is that they're trying to overpower the internet with more words than you're putting into it. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand the attrition of that? That they put more effort into their story. They put more ones and zeros into the algorithm than you do. Then they get to write the history. You don't. Jim Price Show will go down as this small show that no one will ever know because it doesn't get shared out. because they beat the algorithm. They beat me back. They had control. They are the ones who are the gatekeepers. So that's how life works, guys. Being in the cool kids club really is it's a rite of passage, right? You get to do whatever you want, make up whatever you want, be whoever you want, and it all just works out. Crazy time we live in, guys, and this is what we have to fight it back against. All right, guys, it's been good for me. Been good for you. I hope so. It's been a long week already, it seems like. We had really cold days there at the beginning of the week. It was 20 degrees on Sunday night, and now it's almost 90 here today. So, welcome to Kansas. That's what we do. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's been good seeing everybody. I didn't realize my hair had a little whoopsie-doop right there. Hey, whoopie-doop. All right, guys, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing for the show. Remember, like, share, comment, donate to the show as often as possible. Donations do keep the lights on, do keep us going in that right direction. So I do appreciate everybody getting out there and doing their part. All right, so remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up. Do not give in. We will win. I promise. I make a promise I can't keep. Guys, you've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution? That limits the government. That is for you to run. Your government is beholden to you. Know what that power is. Quit giving in to them and not be those people. All right, guys, good stuff out there. God bless you all. Have a good weekend. Well, Brenda, we got one more day. Unless we're taking tomorrow off, you guys let me know, but I was going to go ahead and show up anyway. All right, guys, it's been good seeing you. Thank you so much for everything you guys are doing out there. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys will be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.